All right, YouTube. So this is gonna be an update, and also some other stuff too. Sorry, I lost something. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it goes. All right, cool. So first off, none of these people condone support for people who don't know what condone means. None of these people support what I'm about to say. So neither the FBI supports this, nor McDonald's company, since I'm wearing their uniform and that. My owner, because it's a franchise, he don't support what I'm about to say either. Um, yeah, so neither does the post office. No, none of these people support what I'm going to say. But anyway, so I'm a suspected uh, terrorist. Obviously, I'm Irish, so I'm a suspected IRA terrorist. And those of you that don't know what IRA stands for, it's the Irish Republican Army. I am not a member of them. I do not support them. I don't support anything that they do really. I do support the cause. Supporting the freedom of Ireland from Great Britain, but the way that they go about it, I don't support them. Yeah, they're going about it the entirely wrong way. But anyway, so yeah, that's why I'm bringing this up. Oh yeah, and also Swing and support this. Yeah, they're the company of this letter. So, anyways, as you can see, my letter was steamed open. Um, yeah, look at that. It came completely open because they steamed it open and tried to reseal it, but it's obviously been steamed open. Yeah, so if you're seeing this, you guys, legal company, I'm pretty sure you guys are a legal company just by your name. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys are a legal company. Your letter got steamed open and read by the FBI to see what was going on. But yeah, the FBI for a long time didn't realize where exactly I was because of my living situation. I moved and they lost track of me. Uh, when they lost track of me, my letters and stuff weren't being steamed open. My letters were untampered with and everything. But then now they've found where I live, and all my mail's coming tampered with now. So it's getting steamed open and read, and they're investigating me, which I don't really care. I'm not a terrorist, so I don't really care what they do. Honestly, I do have a stick of notify on me, so I'm gonna notice a lot more police activity watching me and that now that they know where I live. But I don't really care. It really doesn't matter to me at all. Although it's really shameful that it took the FBI a year to figure out where I live. But yeah, that's besides the point. If they're really efficient anti-terrorist an organization, the FBI, they should have been able to find out where I lived within days. But for some odd reason, it took them years, or years. It took them over a year, just over a year, to figure out where I live now. But yeah, they're back to watching me now. But I don't really care. I just consider it protection. I mean, obviously, I got police on me watching me all the time. So yeah, if anything happens, they're gonna be right there to see it. Possibly even step in, depending on if they're willing to reveal themselves or not. But it's regardless. Anyway, so yeah. So as far as the giveaways and that, there's three people that won a lot of stuff. So what the issue was, I got Corona right after I was like, I'm announcing the winners, and then Corona hit, and I was like, oh crap. Well, I can't ship everything out because I have Corona and I can't touch everything. So it's still undone because I'm getting back into life from Corona. That's why I haven't been uploading a whole bunch of videos too, because yeah, I haven't really gotten back into the swing of life per se. Corona really messed me up. Not being able to go anywhere or do anything, it atrophies your muscles. If you know what atrophied means, it means degrades them because you're not using them for so long. But yeah, so it's really hard to get back into things when you're atrophied so bad, and you get right back into working 80-hour weeks immediately after coming off of Corona at work, and 70-hour weeks and doubles and split shifts. Split shift is when you go in the first shift and then you have like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep at most, because you got to figure you got to eat and you got to get ready and you got to take a shower and possibly even do laundry. So you might not even get more than 2 hours of sleep, if any at all. And then you got to go back to night shift. So it'd be like morning shift, the night shift would be a split shift, first shift, third shift. Yeah. So you get off of first shift and then you go to into third shift. Yeah, that's a split shift. So I was working a lot of, and I still am. I'm working a lot of split shifts and doubles and whatnot, just because I respect the owner, of the franchise that I work for. Yeah, I'm gonna help him out, and that if he needs me, then I'm gonna do it regardless. But yeah. Anyways, that's besides the point. So yeah, uh, I've been working a lot, so I just really have been exhausted, to say the least, with my muscles not yet back to where they should be. Not even my voice is back to the way it should be because my throat is still messed up. So I'm still having some issues with stamina, because of Corona. It really messed up my stamina. Like, come home from work, I just am exhausted. I don't have the energy or the strive to actually package all that stuff and the time to uh, waste away, going and taking them and shipping them. So, yeah, it's not even about money. I'll pay for however much it is, and I've told people it don't matter if you live in another country. If you win, then I'll ship it to you, regardless of how much it costs. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Hey, how's it going? Anyways, yeah. So, I will be shipping them out Wednesday, hopefully, but I can't promise anything because I get called in on my days off all the time. I'm working crazy hours. I have 80 hours by the end of this week. So yeah, um, it is what it is. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I am better. I'm just not quite back to the way I was because like I was talking about, my muscles atrophied from Corona, not being able to do anything in isolation, not being able to really do anything at all, and then not really having the determination and strength to actually work out because of Corona. Yeah, it just messed me up kind of. But yeah, so I'm like extra exhausted because I do trucking and stuff. So I'm lifting like 60-pound boxes up above my head onto shelves and stuff. I'm walking up ladders with 60 pounds and yeah, just moving a whole bunch of stuff around that's heavy and walking around the store with the 60-pound case of liquid and to stock it and all sorts of stuff. Uh, yeah. I started off the stream talking about how the FBI supports me, or supports doesn't support me, of what I was talking about, because they steamed open my letter. You can see the steam marks. They definitely steamed it open. They weren't trying to hide the fact that it was steamed open. They didn't even try and reseal it properly. It came open. The FBI watches me because I'm a suspected terrorist, but I don't really care because I'm not an IRA operative and I do not condone them or support them. Just the way they go about it. I mean, their ideology is just stupid. I mean, if you really want to get rid of Great Britain out of Ireland and stop them from invading you and taking over your country, terrorism isn't going to solve it. The only way to really do it would be to prepare for full out war. But yeah, Ireland says that they can't really do that because they can only do guerrilla warfare, which is just bull crap. Yeah, if Ireland really wanted to, they could full out invade Great Britain and stop the war. I mean, seriously. I'm all for stopping the bloodshed with bloodshed. I mean, that's the only way to do it in war. You gotta just out bloodshed the other side and demoralize them enough that they don't want to fight anymore, and they just pull out, and you're done. Peace. Yeah, it's the same thing that Vietnam did to us. They demoralized us. They just killed us and tortured us and enough that we eventually pulled out and gave up, and they got the peace that they wanted. But yeah, Ireland. I don't know. They're not focusing on it right. So I don't support the IRA because they're into terrorism, and terrorism ain't gonna solve it. They're just gonna have for a forever never ending war. It's like it's stupid. But yeah, if the IRA were to get an actual leader, then I might actually turn around and support them, because if they actually had a leader, then they wouldn't be doing all this terrorist bullcrap that they're doing right now. That isn't going to solve anything. I mean, seriously, bombing a person, that ain't really going to end it. Yeah, the IRA, Irish Republican Army. The FBI suspects me of being an IRA operative. They've been watching me since I was in high school, so well over a decade. Yeah, they harassed me. They tortured me and stuff. All sorts of crap. They tortured me as an underage kid. Yeah, but it didn't get anywhere because I'm not an IRA operative and I don't support them. But yeah, they watch me constantly. I have a stake and notify on me, which means if any police officer sees me and recognizes me and knows it's me, they have to stop what they're doing. It don't matter what they're doing. They could be on a call for to go and try and arrest a murder person. They would have to allocate a cop to watch me because of how serious the IRA issue is with terrorism. So they have to stake and notify. And stake and notify means they have to stop, watch me, keep eyes on me, and not lose contact with me, and call for backup. So that way they don't lose track of me and they can watch me. But yeah, yeah, they're really suspicious of me because of what happened in high school. I was skipping school. It was Halloween. I mean, like seriously, who's in high school and doesn't skip on Halloween? I mean, but yeah, I'm Irish, and some idiot called in a bomb threat. So they're like, "Oh, IRA terrorism. We'll pin it on him." Yeah, so I got pinned for it. But they didn't have any evidence. They tried to force a confession out of me by torturing me. And now, mind you, I was a high school kid, young. Like, I think I was 14, 15, maybe, tops. And they started torturing me and stuff. But yeah, I didn't fold because I didn't do it. So they tortured me. They had my mom crying, like busting out crying because of what they were doing to me. Um, but yeah, they tortured me for a long time, like 5 hours probably, and then eventually they had to release me. But yeah, I'm not an IRA terrorist, but they still to this day believe I am. So I have a stake and notify on me, and I'm also not allowed to go to anywhere where there's a high population of Irish people. So I'm not allowed to go to Boston. I'm not allowed to go to places in California. There's places that I'm not allowed to go up north, like in New York. I'm not allowed to go to New York. I'm not allowed to go to certain places that are near borders. So, like, I can't go. I can't really go to Michigan. I'm not supposed to, even though I would. But yeah, Michigan would kind of be all right because it's Canada. But I really do have to avoid the states that border Mexico. So, like, I couldn't go anywhere that's too far down south that borders Mexico. Even though I would like to live in Texas, and I'm planning to go there to because I'm trying to start a business. But yeah, they're gonna have a field day with me. With that, they're gonna be on me like no tomorrow, because yeah, they don't want me going into Mexico. They don't want me anywhere near Mexico because I'm a suspected terrorist. So yeah, um, they did all sorts of torture to me, torture tactics. They tortured me with temperature, like turning the temperature down below freezing. when I'm in shorts and a t-shirt because it's Florida and it was middle of the summer, and then turning the heat up way high and then turning it way back down again, and uh, not allowing me water, not allowing me food, not allowing me to go to the bathroom, threatening to beat the crap out of me, yelling, screaming at me, cussing at me, all sorts of stuff. One of them actually started to throw a table at me, and the other one caught it. and then, after that failed, he went and grabbed his chair and tried to beat the crap out of me with it. But again, the other one stopped him. But it was just all sorts of like scare tactics and stuff. But the worst one was the temperature torture. They really did torture me with temperature. It was crazy. It was actually the FBI who did this. Yeah, the FBI tortured me, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I was underage, and they used the Patriot Act against me. They're like, you ain't got no rights because you're a suspected terrorist. It don't matter your age. It doesn't matter anything. You're not allowed a lawyer. You're not allowed a phone call. You're not allowed food. You're not allowed water. You're not allowed to go to the bathroom. You're not allowed anything. Like, I even asked for a jacket. I'm like, it's freezing cold in here. I need a jacket. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, seriously. And they just kept turning the temperature down. It was crazy. But yeah, the Patriot Act. Yeah, they slapped the Patriot Act on me, and so they were able to torture me because of it. And that's why they're able to do the stuff that they do, like opening up my letters and reading them, and stick and notifying, and restricting me. I'm on the do not fly list to everywhere in the world except for Japan. The only country I can go to is Japan, outside of the US, without permission from the FBI. And if they do allow and approve me to go to that country, they're going to have protective custody on me because they don't want me going anywhere where I might be picked up by terrorists, because they fear me. Like, I'm a highly intelligent person, and they know that I have radical idealism and stuff in me, because I support Ayn Rand. If you don't know who Ayn Rand is, look her up. Objectivism and stuff like that. They know that I'm into this, so they fear me in that. They feared her, so it's like they don't want me falling into the hands of them because they're probably afraid that I'd become the leader that the IRA needs to actually get rid of the influence of the U.S. and Great Britain into Ireland. But yeah, it is just isn't going to happen because I don't support the IRA. The IRA would have to change a lot and agree to do a lot for me to support them and to actually want to be a part of Ireland's cause right now because they're just stupid with it. But yeah, so um, the reason why they suspected me is because I look a lot like this guy, like the actual terrorist, and he lived close to me. Like when I mean he looks so much like me. After all this happened, uh, my mom mistook him for me. Like, why is Joey here? There's no way he's here working. He's at home. We just left him at home, and we're 2.5 hours away. There's no way he's here working. And my ex girlfriend that I was like really close to for a long time and off and on with her, like we loved each other a lot. Went up to him to hug him, got face to face with him, inches away from him, and said, "Hold on, wait, you're not Joey." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you met that guy that these people think I am." But anyways, when they were torturing me and that, they showed me the evidence. They had Kodak. Well, I don't know exactly if it was Kodak. It could have been Fiji. But the old school cameras that we don't use anymore. And they were ousted by this time too. But the police still use them because you can't refute the evidence of it. You can't alter them. The old school cameras where you take it and then you go and you get it the film developed and then you get the pictures from it. Well, they had that. And they had photograph evidence of them. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, yo, that's me, even though that can't be me. Like he looks so much like me. It's just crazy. Yeah. It's just a case of mistaken identity. But yeah, they forced it on me, and I'm like, no, no, this can't be. Like, I've never left the country. I've never been on a boat. I've never been to any seaports. I've never been to any place in Miami. I'm like, it was Miami where they were showing me. I was like, I've never been. Yeah, doppelganger, exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But anyway, so another thing about me that I don't really talk about a lot, but I do kind of talk about it a lot. I was into drugs a lot. I was a big drug dealer, and I ended up getting addicted to them, pills, and then it started ruining my life. And I knew I got to a point where I was either going to die or get arrested and end up in jail for a really long time. So I ended up stopping everything, and I got away from it, thank God. And now I'm straight edge. I don't do anything at all, and I support a drug free society. I even support prohibition, which would make a lot of people mad with me saying that, but I don't care what you guys do. I'm not that type of straight edge. You can do whatever you want. I ain't gonna force my idealism on you. But yeah, I just am straight edge. I don't support drugs. I support a drug free society. But anyways, but that's besides the point. So I got arrested for drugs and ended up doing some time in juvie. Um, so everybody was cool with me in juvie, even the officers, because they knew I was intelligent. Like we would have like school sessions, and they would be like, "Why are you in here? You're so smart. Everybody else in here is just like dumb and stupid. Like you're too smart to be in here." I'm like, yeah, I know. I just got addicted to drugs, and it messed up my life. But anyways, yeah. So everybody called me Juvie. Like even the correctional officers called me Juvie, and everybody was cool with me because I was cool and everything. But yeah, uh, I'm a I'm a good personality. A lot of people like me. I'm highly popular. But anyways, that's besides the point. Anyways, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I was in juvie, juvenile detention center. Yeah, for drugs and that violation of probation because I was on probation and I ended up testing positive for weed. So I got locked up. Um, so I was in a stretch for like a month and a half, and I was like maybe a week and a half into it, and everybody's all cool with me and everything. And people are playing basketball, and I do play basketball sometimes, but I didn't feel like playing basketball in juvie, so I was just sitting there chilling on a bench, and this guy starts walking up to me, so I'm like, "Oh, great, here we go. I'm gonna have to fight somebody." Like seriously, I don't want to fight anybody in juvie. It's just gonna get me in more trouble. But anyways, so the correctional officers are like all like antsy and stuff. I can tell because they're watching us, trying to see what's going on. So this guy walks up to me. And he tries to give me a dap, which is like a handshake. Which, if you don't know what that means, like yeah, if you're not hood enough for that. But anyways, yeah. So he tries to give me a dap, and I look at him like, what? And I didn't give him a dap, and he's like, "Yo, what's wrong with you? Yo, what's up?" And he said my name, what he thought my name was. I'm like, "No, that ain't my name. I'm Joey." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I'm Juvie, man. What you talking about? I'm JDC. I'm not a Juvie in here." And the correctional officers started laughing. They're like, "Yeah, he's Juvie, man. What you talking about?" And then after he said that, he looked at me. He's like, "Well, you're not this person." And I can't remember what name he said, but it's this doppelganger guy that I look a lot like. And he's like, "You're dating my sister." I'm like, "I ain't dating your sister. I've never seen you a day in my life." And he's like, "Oh, you're not from." I can't remember where he said he was from either. It's been so long ago, but it was close. It's like within half an hour, 20 minutes from where I lived. But anyways, that's besides the point. So, anyways, he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, yeah, we're friends and all this and that." I said, "I ain't your friend. I don't like how you're coming at me. I'm not this person, man. You're mistaking me for somebody else. You need to leave me alone and go away from me." And he's like, "Oh, well, what's wrong with you?" and all this and that. And I says, "What's wrong with me is you're coming at me telling me that I'm somebody that I'm not, and that you're trying to force me to be this person that I'm not. You know, you need to leave me alone. I'm Joey. I'm Juvie. You just go play basketball or something." That's what I said to him. "You just go play basketball or something." And he's like, "Oh, well, all this and that." And we argued for a little bit, and then he gave up and left. And it's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I really thought that you were this guy that's dating my sister." I'm like, "Well, I'm really not. You know, sorry, but bye." Anyway, so yeah, so that's just what it is. But I was talking about I was popular. In high school, I was the most popular person. Everybody knew who I was. I was friends with pretty much everybody too. I hung out with like every imaginable group of people. The rocker kids, the most popular kids, the preppy kids, the cheerleaders, the football team, the runners, like I hung out with everybody and everybody knew me. I was friends with pretty much everybody. So like I was the most popular guy in high school. I even dated the most popular girl in high school for a while. She was tall and pretty and everything. And yeah, but turned out to be like a big whore and whatnot. So I didn't want anything to do with her eventually. And we cut ties, but I was still the most popular guy in high school. Uh all right, so the update on the giveaways is I should be sending them out Wednesday, hopefully, unless I get called into work. But yeah, as long as I don't get called into work, I'm gonna be shipping them out Monday, and I'll give everybody an email, and I'll post also on your feed, your original comment feed on the giveaway, the information of when you should get it, and then I'll also email you the tracking number, but I won't put that on YouTube. But I'll email you the tracking number, and I'll also post on YouTube when you should get it, and so that way you can keep an eye out for it because it tells you like an expected arrival time, and it'll be coming through the post office too because I don't like shipping through the UPS. But don't expect that you'll get a package that hasn't been tampered with because the FBI found out where I live now, so they're gonna be opening it up and looking through it. They might even mess stuff up and whatnot, but hopefully they don't damage anything. Let's just say that much. But I even got a Yu-Gi-Oh card from a giveaway one time from some guy. I won a giveaway, and they cut open the tape that he had used to tape it shut so that it wasn't falling out of the card sleeve, and opened it up and looked, and um, they didn't damage it, but they were looking for stuff and making sure that there wasn't like some hidden codes. They probably shined like a UV light on it to make sure we didn't use like some invisible ink or something. Uh, yeah, yeah, you have a great one too. I'll be at work tonight. I'm working night shift. Yeah, have a good one. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, my hair is getting pretty long. I'm gonna have to start putting it up pretty soon when I go to work. Cause yeah, it has nothing to do with customs. That's a mistake right there of a statement. It's the FBI. Uh, yeah, but anyways, the FBI does control customs, but this has nothing to do with customs. This is they're watching me personally, so they're gonna open it up regardless. It has nothing to do with customs. It's the actual FBI, not the customs FBI. The customs FBI is different. Yeah, I'm actually growing it out to donate again. I donated it before. I posted it on YouTube, me donating it. To Wigs for Kids. So I'm gonna grow it out again and donate again. That's why I'm getting long hair. But anyways, yeah, I don't get haircuts either. I just grow it out as is, bangs and all. I don't get to shape up nothing. But yeah, I do need to shave pretty soon. But that's regardless of the point of my hair. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, the actual customs is a separate division of the FBI than the FBI that is opening in my packages. It's completely different. Yeah, there's a special team on me. There's a special FBI team on me that all they do is watch me. They've done told me that and I believe them too because what I've noticed, I've caught some of them before, tailing me and watching me and staking and notifying that. Like for instance, one day I was walking my dog in Florida, and there was this lady in a truck, and she just hops out and says, "What are you doing?" I says, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" She says, "What are you doing right now?" I says, "I'm walking my dog. What are you doing?" And when I said, "What are you doing?" she like freaked out and hopped back into her truck. And she just stayed there and stayed there and stayed there. And I looked out my window and she had binoculars watching my house. And I'm like, oh, this stupid idiot. Like, could you be any more obvious, FBI lady? And she was like the age and everything, like middle age. Well, not younger than middle age, but you get what I'm saying, like over 30, like the typical FBI age. Yeah, female. Watching my house. And so what did I do? I waited until the park closed that she was sitting at in the parking lot. And I waited an extra hour and then I called the police on her. And I says, "There's a suspicious truck with a suspicious lady, and she's been watching my house and watching me. And she confronted me when I was walking my dog, asking me what I was doing, and this and that. She needs to be looked into. I don't know what she's doing." I says, "I'm afraid to go to sleep right now. You need to go check on this. I ain't gonna go to sleep until I find out what's going on. For all I know, she's gonna try and break into my house and kill me or something." I can't remember exact words, but I said something like that along those lines. And the police are like, "All right, well, we'll send somebody out to investigate." They go to her and notice she has a gun on her. And I watch these police officers all back up and draw their guns on her with their lights and that. And they surrounded her car with guns on her and that. And they're like, "Get out the car now and keep your hands where we can see them," and all sorts of stuff. And then out of nowhere, they just leave. And she leaves to the right of where I'm looking. It would have been her left, and everybody else leaves to the left. And I had a friend in the police department, and she told me, "Look, if you ever see an undercover cop, right, that you think is an undercover cop, and they leave a scene, and with black and whites, they're going to drive in one direction, and the black and whites are all going to drive in the opposite direction. And the reason being is because in case a part of the force gets ambushed, they can circle around and provide support." So even when black and whites, if there's more than two, they'll split their forces and go opposite directions. Um, so that way, even just two of them, they'll split their forces and go opposite directions when they're leaving the scene of a crime, because it could be an ambush. It was happening a lot. People in the hood were ambushing because I lived in the slums in the hood. Most people will say it ain't the slums where you come from. It ain't that bad. Well, you didn't grow up in it. It was the slums. Houses dilapidated, falling apart, and in disrepair, and nobody has the money to fix them. Houses going into foreclosure. Apartment complexes stacked with drug dealers and stuff. It was the slums. But anyways, in the hood. But that's besides the point. So, anyways, they were having problems with the area, and people were getting ambushed. The police were getting ambushed, so they split their forces. And anytime they leave a scene of a crime, they would always split forces and go different directions. So, in case when one of the group of the cops gets ambushed, the other group can circle around and provide support. So they were doing that. And yeah, so as soon as she went one way and they all went the other way, I knew instantly that she was FBI, because the only reason why they would have all gone the same way and not gone with her is if she was an actual officer of the law. So yeah, she was FBI definitely. And yeah, but it's whatever. But yeah, they're stupid with it. One time FBI was following me because I took pictures of I took pictures of Masonic symbol on a keystone of a building, and I was gonna post on Facebook, oh yeah, cool, I support you guys and all this and that, and I'm an architecture myself, and I like your organization and this and that because it's the truth. I do. I support the Masons. I even have a mask that's the Crusaders mask because I support the Crusaders too. Yeah, a lot of people are going to hate me saying that because they massacred a whole bunch of Muslims, but it was for religious purposes, and I understand why. And yeah, I'm not going to fault them for that. But anyways, yeah. So I supported them, and I was going to do this on Facebook, like post it. I didn't care. I knew I was going to get a whole bunch of backlash from people like, "Oh, you're just a piece of crap," and "Oh, you're just part of the government, and the government's crap, and you're supporting them, and this and that. You're supporting Masons, and you're just a horrible person." I didn't give a crap. I was just going to take it because I don't really care. But then I take the picture and I'm leaving and I'm walking, and FBI starts following me. They come out of the building. Like literally, they come out of the building and start following me. Like, could you be any more obvious? And they had 7 cars. I don't know if it was 7 cars. I think it was 7 cars. It's really hard to tell because they would come, slow down beside me, and speed up and take off and turn off, and then another car would come, slow down beside me. But they were all the same make and model. They were just different colors. They were all tinted, but not all of them had their tinted windows up. Some of them had them down, and I could even see that they were cops. Like I could see their badges, their FBI badges and stuff. They were idiots. Like they were really ill prepared. I like took them off guard or something, and they were flubbing up because yeah, I caught them off guard, and they were freaking out. Like, oh crap, this terrorist is messing with us. This could be a terrorist attack. We don't care if he knows that we're following him. We're just gonna follow him. So then, anyways, the idiots pull out because I just turned onto a highway. They pull out and they slow down, and our van almost rear ends them like a civilian. And the civilian was so pissed. Sorry, my voice is all messed up. Uh, Still Corona. It scarred my throat, but anyways, talking for long periods of times messes with me. But yeah, I'll be all right in a second. But anyways, so the van almost rear ends him and causes an accident, and he's just laying on his horn and all mad, and the van speeds around him and winds out his windows just yelling at him and this and that. You idiot, you almost made me rear end you and all this and that, and I could have killed you and you could have killed me and all this and that. But anyways, so yeah, the FBI is all on me and that. So when you get your packages, don't expect them to be the same condition as I sent them in. But if they mess anything up, if I were you, I would get after the post office because I'm gonna get them insured. So yeah, just let me know if something happens and I'll make sure that they compensate you for it. Like if if they don't give you a replacement product, they're gonna have to give you the money value of it because I'm gonna get insurance on it. I'm gonna get full insurance on it because it's really a lot of money put into these giveaways, and I want you to get them, or at least the monetary value of it if it gets damaged or whatever happens. Like I'm gonna make sure they put fragile and dangerous on them because they're magnets and that, and the cards are gonna be fragile, the eco cards. So I'll put fragile on that. But the fishing and stuff, and the fishing gear, including the regular fishing gear and the magnetized fishing gear, the magnet fishing gear, it'll have danger written all over it because that stuff is very dangerous. It can really injure you if you're not careful with the packages. Uh, Hooks could stab into you, and they're really hard to get out. Like you got to cut the hook off to pull it out. Like I've been hooked before. It's not fun. I got hooked in the shoulder and I had to cut it out myself. Cut the tip off with my fishing pliers to get the hook out because some idiot was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cast super far," and casted right into my arm and yanked and hook set it into me. Like, what an idiot. But anyways, yeah. Sometimes it happens when you're fishing around other people. It's just part of the territory. But yeah, anyways, so the fishing gear is going to be super dangerous. So it's going to have fragile and danger written all over it. So we'll see if it comes in good condition or not. Hopefully it will, because I want you to get your stuff and I want you to get it in good condition. The same condition I send it in, because I want you to be able to enjoy the stuff. But yeah, so my subscriber base is dropping a little bit because I don't know. I A lot of people do this to my channel. I do giveaways and stuff, and everybody's like, join, 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 even though I don't require it for the giveaways. And then I stopped doing giveaways for a while because these giveaways are like super expensive and that. And I'm trying to save money to start a business. But yeah, so people are flocking to my channel because they're like, oh, $800 giveaway. What? Nobody does that on YouTube. Because the YouTubers are idiots. They do like $20 giveaways. What's the point of giving a $20 giveaway to somebody when you gotta pay up $5 to ship it? It's just stupid. And who really wants to win a $20 giveaway? It's like defeating. Yeah, but uh all right, so the business I'm trying to start is really complicated. It's selling stuff, selling ideas, and also manufacturing, architecture, all sorts of stuff. It's complicated because it's like multiple facets of a whole bunch of stuff. It'll be a conglomerate. Um, it's going to be really hard to start it because the legal aspects of it are going to be a pain. But yeah, they're going to try and say that I'm doing illegal business because I'm doing shady business deals and stuff like that because I'm going to be putting the airline business out of business. Yeah, I'm going to be putting the airline business out of business, the train passengers out of business, car companies out of business. All sorts of stuff is going to go out of business when I go into business. And then they're going to say that I'm monopolizing stuff because I'm going to have my hand in so many fields. I'm going to be in the medical field and I'm going to be putting a lot of hospitals out of business. The hospitals that do like profit based stuff where they make money off of you being sick and keeping you sick and treating you and stuff like that. I'll put them out of business and I'll put a lot of hospitals out of business because my business is going to involve architecture and stuff like that. So I'm going to have hospitals myself running all over the country, thousands, tens of thousands of hospitals eventually. But I'll start off with just one as a concept. And then once I get enough money invested into it, then I'm going to do a whole bunch of hospitals. My plan is to have tens of thousands of hospitals all over the US and monopolize the hospital industry and put everybody else out of business. Like, everybody's going to hate me and try and assassinate me and stuff like that because if I come into business, I'm going to put so many people out of business. It's going to be crazy. Like, I'm going to change everything. Um, but yeah, it's not just like architecture, it's also the aerospace industry, the space industry, medical field, architecture, fire industry, like not just like regular firefighters, but all the force fighter companies are all going to go out of business because I'm monopolizing them. I mean, like I'll keep all the workers. Like when I monopolize this, I'm gonna keep the workers. I'm not just gonna get rid of them. I'm gonna need them. I'm just gonna make. I'm just gonna like buy them out pretty much. But they're gonna try and say that it's illegal, and they're gonna try and fight me in court with it. But uh, when all is said and done, The FBI is probably going to step in and say that it's legal because the FBI is going to be vested into me. I'm actually going to sell one of my patents to the FBI. Like the FBI has to have the patent. I'm not going to go into business with this drug. I'm sorry, man. I'm like messed up. I gotta get some water. I'll be back. Sorry about that. I've been up for forever. Like seriously, I've been up since 9 p.m. and my job means that I have to yell out a lot of stuff. So like my voice is all messed up right now, especially because Corona messed me up. So yeah, I gotta get some water. Sorry. But anyway, so yeah, what I was talking about. Anyways, this drug that I have invented and people are like, "Drug, you invented a drug? What is like weed or something?" I'm like, "No, idiots. Anything that's a medicine, that's like a pill or anything is a drug because it alters your body and your mind. Yeah, it's a drug. Um but that's just like my straight edge point of view. But anyways, yeah, so um this drug and this patent is gonna have to be directly to the government because I can't have my hands on it. It's too dangerous. If any company has their hands on it, it's too dangerous. If any one person has their hands on it, it's too dangerous. It needs to be controlled by the government of the U.S. The U.S. is the only government that can control it too. Any other country, it would be too dangerous. Um, the U.S. has the means to protect all of humanity because my drug has the potential to cause the extinction of all living things in the entire known universe. And I don't mean just humans, I mean everything can go extinct. But the thing about it is the drug is necessary because it's going to be part of my aerospace industry that I'm going to try and start myself. Elon Musk, watch out because yeah, I'm gonna be in the business pretty soon. Yeah, I'm gonna be way more famous than you eventually. Yeah, because I'm not going for Mars, I'm going for other Earths. I invented a way for you to travel from here to any other Earth you want and still live. Um, you won't die of old age or anything like that. My drug allows you to live forever, as long as you don't get shot, stabbed, you don't die of like some hernia or some bursted blood vessel or gunshot wound or an infection or anything like that. As long as you don't die of that, then you won't die of old age. My drug allows you to never die of old age. So yeah, what you do is you get to a certain age and you take my drug and it de-ages you. And then you just grow up. And then when you grow up enough, then you just take it again. And that way you just perpetually get young ever so often. And when you perpetually get young ever so often, when you take my drug ever so often, then yeah, you live forever. So you don't have to worry about time. Time is not of the essence. You're gonna live long enough to travel as far as you want in the universe. So I invented it as a viable method for interstellar space travel. So I'm just gonna start a business. Part of my business is interstellar space travel. I will sell tickets and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna charge out the yin yang for them like Elon Musk will for Mars. He's like charging like $1 million for a seat for a vacation to the International Space Station or Mars. It's like, come on, man. No layman person is going to be able to afford that. My tickets would be $1,000. You pay $1,000, you get on the ship, and you can live forever and you can go to a new earth and start a new beginning. But my invention involves actually transporting an earth inside of a spaceship. Uh, my plans are to make 10 of them eventually and launch them out. It's going to take about 10 years to build them out in space. 10 years on Earth to build the parts, 10 years out in space to assemble them, and a whole crap ton of money and workers and everything. Like this aerospace business is going to cause so many jobs. Like if I become a actual businessman, it's going to cause the world to change. Like there aren't enough people to supply that I need as workers. So like other countries are going to be sending people to the US just to work for my companies so that way I can have enough bodies to actually do it because I'm going to need so many metal workers, metallurgists, welders, miners, all sorts of stuff. It's even just like resources and stuff. If I come into business, I'm gonna make other countries wealthy. Like seriously, it's not just me that can be wealthy. It's gonna be a lot of people, and a lot of the poor people are gonna have a lot of money, and it's gonna change everything. But yeah, um, the world as we know it will not be the world as we know it if I go into business. And it won't take long either. Once I get my patents and start my business, it's over with. But if I get my patents, I'm immediately gonna have the revenue to go into business because I'm selling my patent to the government. Um, I want to sell it for 10 million to them. I'm gonna be like, look, FBI, 10 million, and you can control this within reason because I'm not gonna make any money off of it. You can go into business with it all you want, but I reserve the right to use it in my own business as much as I want because I need it for my business, for my aerospace business. And I'll be able to control who I want to give it to. I can give it to anybody I want, and I can take it as much as I want, and they can take it as much as they want. And yeah, so yes, I'll keep that as my basis to it, but the FBI will have all control over it. Um, a layman person won't be able to take it unless you have permission from me or the government. Um, but yeah, it'll have to be FBI controlled because think of it like this: if everybody on the earth doesn't die of old age, what's going to happen? Resources. We're all going to run out of resources and it's going to kill off every living thing because without resources, nothing can live. Seriously. So yeah. And then what happens when you run out of resources? You start sucking out the resources of everything around you. And then what happens when all that gets sucked out? Every living thing in the known universe dies eventually because you sucked out all the resources. So it needs to be controlled. Not everybody can live forever. That's just a realization of it. Yeah, but within reason, a lot of people will be living forever. Um, I'll control it too, myself. I'm not just gonna let anybody on my spaceships, interstellar spaceships, to live forever to travel to another Earth. They're gonna be specialized people like special ops, police force, detectives, that sort of stuff, military members, medical field members, welders, robotics, coders for like computers and stuff, computer engineers, all sorts of like specialty things, like everything you would need to start a new society. Every specialty you could imagine, and 10 of each of them because eventually some of them are going to die. It's impossible for everybody to live forever. Even if you're taking a drug that de-ages you, something could happen. The drug itself could kill you because it's very painful. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. So if you're going from being old to young, it takes a lot of energy. And that energy usage can kill you if you don't have enough energy or if you can't withstand the pain, because it's going to be painful, very painful. So if you can't withstand the pain, or you don't have enough energy, it'll kill you. So like if you take it when you're too young, it'll kill you. If you take it when you're too skinny, it'll kill you. Um, if you take it when you're too fat, it won't de-age you. It'll just make you skinny. Um, so yeah, if you're too old and you take it, you die. Um, if you have too bad of a heart condition when you take it, you die. If you have something like AIDS and take it, it'll get rid of your AIDS because you're getting everything new. So you'll have a new brain, you'll have a new heart, you'll have new lungs, you'll have new blood. So AIDS will go bye bye. Um, that's what I'm talking about. That would put a lot of businesses out of business because they're monopolizing all these drugs and stuff to treat all these illnesses. And we take my drug and it's gone. Everything's gone. You got cancer, it's gone. You got AIDS, it's gone. You got gonorrhea, syphilis, it's gone. If you have a heart condition, it's gone. As long as you're able to survive the pain of it and you don't have a heart attack and it kills you, then it's gone. If you have Alzheimer's and you take it, it's gone. Um, yeah, it's like a potential to cure pretty much everything. But yeah, there's all sorts of aspects of my business, like fire prevention and suppression system for forest fires. So I would prevent and suppress forest fires and allow them to burn naturally, so that there's a natural aspect of new growth forest, getting rid of the old and uh, the, the bugs and stuff that are killing all the trees and that, and it allows for a healthy forest. In a healthy ecosystem, if you allow the forest fires to burn. But they have to be controlled because we don't want them burning out of control and killing people and damaging property and stuff like that. So, with my invention and my business, I'll provide you with a safe burn, uh, so that way your business and your highways and your city doesn't burn. Like seriously. That's just the gist of it, and your country too. Yeah, and I'll be going into business with other countries too with this, not just the U.S. It'll be a mainly U.S. Based and focused. But anyways, so yeah, I'm not gonna talk much longer because all this talking's getting to me. But anyways, yeah. So I'll also be selling water and electricity. Um, And also, another aspect, I have flying boards, so that's what I'm talking about. I'll be putting the uh, aerospace business out of business. So like all flights and stuff like that, they'll go out of business. Boeing, they'll go out of business. They won't be able to compete. Uh, Imagine being able to fly from here to Japan on one charge, like 50 cents, maybe $1.50. $3, $5, $10 tops to charge your board, and you can fly all the way from here to Japan on that money. It's like, yo, they ain't gonna be able to compete seriously. It's gonna put them out of business. If I go into business, a lot of people are gonna go out of business, but it doesn't mean that people are gonna lose their jobs because I'm gonna need workers. I'm gonna need lots of workers. So like even though I'm going to be monopolizing all these different fields and all these different businesses and putting them all out of business, it's going to be a hard time for the government to shut me down. It will be because they're going to be vested in it anyways. They're going to want me to succeed. And competitors, there just isn't going to be any. I mean, seriously, Boeing ain't going to be able to compete with that. I mean, instead of paying $1,000 to fly from here to Japan, you pay $10 or $1. It's like there's no sense. I mean, they'll still have some. There'll still be some survivors. Yeah, because I won't be able to get rid of all competition, but I'll be able to get rid of most of it. And yeah, so anyways, what happens is if your board starts running out, it's a flying board. So if your board start, it's all electric too. So if you start running out of electricity, you're gonna die. You're gonna fall and you're gonna die because there's no safety system. You're in a board. You're not protected by anything, and you're probably not flying high enough to pull a parachute and decelerate yourself enough to survive. So there isn't a point in wearing a parachute. You're gonna die, like literally. So my business to keep you from dying will charge you as you're flying. So we won't let you get below a certain charge. You dip below 3/4 of your battery, we're gonna charge you full if you're in flight. If you're in sustained flight and your battery dips below 3/4, we're gonna charge you mid-flight to full. So that way you only gotta charge yourself once and you can fly wherever you want. Like you'll never you know, and it's like your initial charge, your board won't be charged when you get it. You'll be depleted. You pay for your initial charge. And then after that, you barely pay anything because you won't dip below 3/4 of your energy ever because we'll keep charging you. So, unless your batteries are going bad, you won't ever have to pay more than like $1 to fly anywhere or cents to fly anywhere in the world you want for as long as you want, back and forth and here and there and whatnot. But before you can fly, you have to be charged to 100% your board because your board won't start up for flight unless it's at 100%. So if you land, you have to charge your board to 100%. That's just part of the business. Yeah, so yeah, but once you've charged and you start flying, we'll keep you flying no matter what. Yeah. And then if all else fails, then there'll be some safety measures. But I mean, it's logistically hard to keep you alive if you fail. But yeah, so that's why there'll be some surviving companies for flying because the risk of flying like that. But I mean, it's so cool. I mean, it appeals to us. Like, who doesn't want to fly on a flying board? I mean, it's way better than a hoverboard. You actually get to fly. I mean, seriously, who doesn't want to do that? And as long as you fly low enough and fast enough, you don't really have to worry about the depleted oxygen from flying up too high or freezing to death because you fly too high. So you just keep kind of low and you can fly at your own pace. You don't have to rush things. You just have to take a backpack and take food and water on you and just hover, take your backpack off of you, open it up, get some food and water, put your backpack on, eat, drink, and start flying again. And if you gotta piss or poop or whatever, you just do it in midair into the ocean or onto the ground. Like who cares? There ain't gonna be anybody around, most likely. And if there is, oh well, you're on a flying board, you can't just stop, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. You can't just stop when you're over the ocean, so you just let it go. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, my business is gonna be pretty much a lot of things. It's gonna deal with a whole bunch of stuff. I'll even have some teaching aspect of it too. I'm gonna be teaching survival skills and martial arts and stuff like that too. So there's gonna be all sorts of things that encompass my business. It's gonna be so many things. It's just hard to say, oh, well, my business is gonna be this because my business is gonna be so many things, and it's gonna be all under one name too. So it's like impossible to say what my business is. I'm sorry, person who asked that. Uh, oh yeah, Matthew Liu. I know it's like a lengthy explanation to beat around the bush and just to say that my business is complicated. It's going to be a lot of things. Yeah, you said you gotta go now, but you might see it later again. But anyway, so I gotta go now because I gotta go to bed. All right, so yeah, you guys have a good one. See you. Bye.